All right, this morning's the time. I'm gonna put together the police Cybertruck. Don is watching videos and enjoying coffee, and we've got about an hour probably before we head to the garage, so I thought, why not? I have lots of parts. There were over, I think, 336 or something in this build, so they're all sorted out between here. I probably have to set this off to the side so I can have space to build here on the counter. Well, despite what I thought was really great planning, I am missing 10 of these side pieces, which are going to be used to attach the doors and the side panels of the car to the chassis. And what's going on here is that I have a lot of these pieces that I thought were the right pieces. You can sort of see it here. I know the focus is really hard. There you go. But the problem is on the bottom, it's got the dots, and it's supposed to be smooth on the bottom, because if you look at where it's going on the chassis, you can't, is this going here? You can't connect dots to dots. So I have, like, you know, one part and it's the wrong color. That would go there, and so I gotta order. What I'm trying to tell you is I gotta order some more parts. So I'm devastated that I only got this bottom part of the chassis built and that I can't keep on going today. It's just very frustrating. Yeah, here you can see better. It's the part on the right is what I have a bunch of, and the part on the left is what I need a bunch of. And they look the same from the back. But they do not look the same from the bottom, and they also don't really look the same from the top. You can see how it would be sort of easy to confuse those parts. So along with the rest of the Tesla watching YouTube people out there, Don and I have been enjoying Sandy Monroe breaking down the Model Y. He's had critique, compliments, tips, ponderings. It's been, I think, fair and certainly enjoyable, and we've subscribed to the Monroe Live channel so we get all the updates. But the reason why I'm showing you this particular thing here has nothing to do with the Model Y, is that Sandy's using the same battery that goes on Don's new and old DeWalt drill with a flashlight attachment, so that he can light up the bottom of this door panel. And, you know, seeing that yellow DeWalt battery there really got Don's attention since he's been using his drill, the new and the old one, a lot on these projects this weekend. It's another gorgeous day. We're very pleased that North Carolina hasn't gone straight from spring to summer like it so often does. We've got temps in the 70s, I think, again today. So what are we going to tackle today, Donnie?
We're going to do the gate at the top of the stairs.
Yeah, while we can still stand being in the attic, we're going to do another project that involves us being up there.
That's right.
Well, I am pleased with the amount of blooms on this Weigelia this year. It's more than last year. The one by the garage, by the butterfly bushes, was gorgeous last year. And now this year it has no blooms, so go figure. We saw the bluebirds visit the box this morning again. They were up here on this tree limb right close to me. And still no activity inside the box though. Hi, Gray. Gray is my cat that's most cat-like. Sometimes she really wants attention and she purrs and she's all over me, and other times she stays 15 feet away and she won't come see me and she acts really skittish. She's kind of fickle, like you would expect a cat to be, or the stereotypical cat to be. But when she wants love, she really wants love. Hey, good girl. What a concept. We get to go upstairs and use a handrail.
A handrail. Yeah, isn't that something? This way, so that it hides in here when it's not used.
Sure.
And we probably can do a notch, or just stop it and put something here that it can latch onto. Because the boys are not small enough to fall through here. We're not
right. We're trying to prevent somebody that stumbles or forgets there's nothing there. Right. We're not trying to keep a toddler from crawling through slats.
That's right. We're not trying to stop a toddler here.
Right. We're trying to prevent an accident from a middle school or adult high school kid.
Right. In fact, we have screen wire, fence wire that's coated.
Yeah, that green stuff up there.
That green stuff, and I might use that to fill in the body of the
gate.
The gate. You know, we're
well, we've got a piece of lattice work, which is outdoor lattice work.
Well, you know, I like the lattice work idea. Actually,
I think we have one full panel and some scrap pieces. Yeah, the optimal word would be free. Like all stuff we have on hand.
Right, no.
And,
we're not buying wood.
And easy. Yeah, free and not too complicated.
Right.
Yeah. So whatever we have that we can use to make it, that's how we're going to make it.
That's right, exactly.
So we had a box with door hardware, hinges, pulleys, and casters. And Don asked me to lay out all of the hinge options we had for today's project. So Don's assessing his material options, and that's providing him with an opportunity to get this wood organized so he can find this wood when he needs it better.
That's right. Well, it's sort of taking the inventory. I mean, JB did me a big favor, but he just got it up out of the way. And sort of like Marianne, I've organized the boxes. Now I'm kind of organizing my wood into nice, you know, planks and 1x2 or 2x2s, and you know, just trying to figure out what I got. We tried to come up with some good ways. Ideally, in a perfect world, it would swing this way and disappear into the railing over here and swing this way. But Marianne was concerned that since it opens that way, that the boys would, you know, fall down anyway. They'd figure out some way to defeat no matter what kind of a catch I used over here, teenage boys would figure out how not to, you know, do that. So we've come up now. Oh, and we tried this over here to have it come fold this way. But then that means I can't ever put any boxes here. This table would have to move back over that way because it's going to swing it has to swing way wide. So that wasn't so good. So I remember I had these things. There's a mating hook that goes with it. So visualize this as a 2x4. So we're going to build a gate this way and drop it in over here, and you know, it'll be a complete gate. And then she can just lift it up, and we can set it over here out of the way during the off season. And I'll put a latch on this thing so this won't be able to slide. But like I said, we're going to use some lattice work here to fill in this. And I got some of that fancy...
Here's the piece.
Yeah, I got some of this stuff with the groove in it. So I even have one that's an H shape, so I can put it like halfway. So, you know, there'll be like a foot of lattice work, an H, and then maybe the 2 feet, because we're really more worried about the top.
Right, they're mostly over 4 feet.
Yeah, there's no little. We're not worried about
toddlers.
infants.
Not worried about having toddlers up here. Just kids 4 feet and taller.
Right, kids 4 feet and taller.
And just not thinking. Obviously, You know, I could see you be standing here talking
Right.
and just accidentally forget the opening to the stairwells there. That's all we're trying to do, is to give somebody a little bit of a prevention.
That actually would never happen. What would happen is they'd be here on their phone with their face in the phone, and that's what would happen.
So Don just has these temporarily mounted so that you can see.
Right,
So this end will come up, and that's how you'll get it out.
Right.
And
yeah, I didn't put them all the way up to the top because I wanted this to be, you know, mounted, get a little meat of that 2x4 there. And besides that, I mean, that's, I don't know how high that.
so it's going to look like a fat eye. Up at the very capital I. Up at the top, it's going to be wide and in these brackets, and down at the bottom, it's going to be wide and come out over those 2x4s. But in the middle, it's going to be, you know, in a little bit. So it's going to look like a really fat eye.
Yeah, well, it's 43 inches. Well, actually, it's going to be a little taller than that because this level is not the same as 2. So it's going to be 44 inches. The top of the rail is going to be 44 inches.
Which is plenty high. 36 inches is a fence rail. I mean, it's a deck rail. Last I knew what code was.
Right. If they lean on the thing and they reach way over like that, I mean...
That's fine.
You know, we need Darwin to kick in a little bit.
Donnie!
Oh.
So Don is making a channel in the center of the 2x4 because he doesn't have quite enough of the pre-made channel stuff. Don decided to get out the router. The groove is sorted out, and now he's sanding. Poor Don. He makes sawdust. I blow sawdust away.
Blows me away.
I did blow him and the area.
Girl blows me away.
So does this fall into the category of measure twice, cut once?
No comment.
The little brace up there is not quite wide enough for a real 2x4.
I just assumed it was a 2x4.
That can
What happens when you assume?
That can be fixed though. It's starting to come together
Right.
right now.
So I've learned a little bit. I now know why these are not the width of a 2x4. They did that on purpose. They let it just a little less than a 2x4 so that you notch it so you can't, I don't have this screwed down here at the bottom, but now it won't slide back and forth. That's why they
Did that.
Did
So
that
that's on
a little.
purpose.
And then of course it crashes into this side of the notch. I put the same notch because we used the level. And so I've got T-braces. I'll put a T-brace on each end. And I got L brackets for the bottom. And L brackets for the top. So basically I'm going to put 4 L brackets and 2 T-braces. I've got all that. We won't have to go anywhere. And I think it'll be maybe a 300-pound linebacker could get through it. But he's going to feel it. He's not just going to bump
Right.
into
Well,
it.
the main thing stopping anybody is this bar right here.
That's a nice
And the
part.
bar at the bottom extends over the two top of the stairs 2x4s. And this is peripheral vision. You're going to see something behind you there.
Right.
Yeah, so I think it does what I needed for, or what I was hoping for it to do. I'm happy, and we can take it away and move it out of the way
and set it to the
side or
whatever. Store
it during non-Lego season.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Donnie. So we're gonna finish up tomorrow. It's going on 6:30. Poor Don's hungry.
Well, I got saws and everything out in the parking area, so I've got to bring all that in.
Yeah, he's got cleanup to do. That's going to take a bit.
And I'm done with I guess what I'm trying to say, I'm done with the sawing and stuff like that.
But if you're going to sand it anymore, you got to do that before you put the sander up.
Right, yeah, I understand.
I've got 30 minutes before the meatballs are ready to have sauce and cheese added. So I'm going to go do my Pokemon real quick. Don's enjoying his deviled eggs. Good evening, Ruby. About what you'd expect up here at South Park for late on a Sunday during the lockdown. Just a few cars parked and people walking around the walking track or out on the trail that Don takes on his run. Yeah, I made meatballs tonight so Johnny would have something left over for lunches for a day or two. He had finished up the spaghetti bake.